Yes.
Okay.
We are recording.
Okay, good morning. For the record, I'm Chris Young, Chair of the HDC Sign Advisory Committee. Let's confirm access. Members, please respond with an aye when I call your name. Kevin Kuster.
Aye.
Paul Wolf.
Aye.
Mark Catone. Okay, we'll wait for Mark. Staff, Kathy Flynn.
Present.
All right, this open meeting of the SAC is being conducted remotely, consistent with Governor Baker's executive order of March 12th, 2020. That order allows public bodies to convene remotely so long as public access to deliberations is reasonably provided. This meeting is convening via the Zoom video app and audio recording, and we are being broadcast via YouTube on the town's YouTube channel. This meeting will feature public comment. Materials provided to the members for the meeting or provided during the meeting are available on the town's website. During the meeting, I'll introduce agenda topics and speakers. Please remember to mute your Zoom audio until your name's called. Let's direct comments and questions through the chair to avoid crosstalk and make taking of minutes easier. Votes will be conducted by a roll call. Let's move on to the meeting agenda. So we'll call to order at 9:03 on April 13th, 2021. And do we have a motion to approve our agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Paul, are you in favor?
Yes.
Kevin?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, and let's, do we have a motion to approve our minutes from the last meeting? Anybody?
So moved.
Kevin? Thanks, Kevin. Thank you, Kevin. Are you in approval?
Yes.
And Paul?
Aye.
All right. Let's move on. Does anybody on the line?
Mark is here now.
Oh, hey, Mark. Let's count you as being present. Can you hear us?
Yes.
Thanks. All right. So we is there anybody on the call for general comment, public comment? All right, let's move on to the first item on the agenda. Kathy, you have the screen.
Yes, Mr. Chair, 14 Federal Street is not going to be here today. They didn't have their application ready in time, so hope for representation.
Okay. Should we motion that officially or just
yes,
hold them
please.
up? All right. Would somebody like the motion for hold 14 Federal for representation?
Motion.
Second.
Second. Thanks. Kevin, are you in favor?
Aye.
Mark?
Aye.
Paul?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Thanks, Kathy.
And I don't believe that
The sound is gone.
We might have lost you, Kathy. I think you're muted.
I'm sorry. I clicked mute. I apologize. I don't see her on here, and I reached out to her via email and phone call, and she has not responded.
Sorry, was that Jurgita you said?
No, this is 18A Federal. Giovanna D'Arusso. It's Pollux. Pollux? Is that how you pronounce it?
Oh, okay.
But
So
right, yeah, that the sign is gone. So
should we hold for representation then on that as well?
sure.
Are we at risk of the 30-day period? Anyway,
30-day for
to take some action on that application? Or is it
60 days?
60 days. Oh, we have plenty of time. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So would somebody like the motion to hold for representation on that?
So moved.
Second.
All right, Kevin, are you in favor?
Aye.
And Mark?
Aye.
And Paul?
Aye.
Okay, I as well. Thanks, Kathy.
Okay. We have a bunch of no-shows so far, so I don't see Jurgita on here as well. I did speak to her on Friday or Thursday, and she did send me the new application. She submitted it after she watched the meeting. So she's not here.
Okay. Why don't we skip to the first applicant that's present and we'll circle back to her.
Yeah. Let me find it's 45 Old South Road. see your comments from before.
Okay. And Sherry, you're on the line?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you've submitted a new design, it looks like.
We revised the size and put up the tape on the building so you could see actually where it would go. And how big was that?
The length of the space in between the windows is 89 inches for reference of size.
Okay. And I see you have some other photographs submitted. You want to talk about that before we pass this on to the board for comment?
Oh, just took pictures of local businesses, our neighbors that have signs facing Old South Road and their wall signs.
Okay. Kevin, do you want to comment?
Sure. I think if you go back up to slide number 4, I think we need to verify what the size of this is, because it looks like it's 24 inches high, but it's really whatever that is to the top of that curve. That's how those should be measured. Aside from that, I still think the best place for a sign on this building is by the door. It has a perfect location for it. It better fits the shape of the sign, and I don't think a wall sign is appropriate where we have a door right there. That's my comments. Thanks.
Okay, Mark.
No comments at this time.
Can I just comment that
Sherry?
The hedge that's at Dr. Torrey's office, you can't see our building until you are directly in front of it because the hedges are really tall. So that's why we thought it would be better seen if it's on the road.
Okay. Paul, do you have any comments?
Can we go back to the slide that shows the door? It's either
Like
just
number
before
7.
or just... Yeah, okay. So it appears that I agree with what Kevin says, but it appears that there's not room on that wall where the door is for a sign that size. However, it's possible, or it's a question really, could there be a hanging sign over the porch? Which would...
Gotcha.
Yeah, something like that. To me, that would be far superior to what we're looking at between the two windows. Those are my comments.
Okay. Sherry, have you guys considered that? That's, the other signs that you showed do have, in some cases, the signs are located above the doorway or near the doorway, which is our goal. And in a few cases, you have buildings that aren't situated like Espresso to Go, where there is a doorway on that same elevation. So in this case, trying to keep the signage close to the doorway, have you looked at the option of hanging this sign from the porch the way that Kathy was just illustrating?
Not really.
Okay.
You could do projecting there also.
Yeah.
I was able to email him on March 16th asking for an updated mailing address.
So, a projecting sign for that space would be 4 square foot, and it could be in combination with a wall sign as well.
Motion to hold for revision.
I guess. Okay.
Mr. Chair, are you having a hard time hearing her? Because I am too. Sherry?
I'm not sure Sherry's speaking. Are you speaking,
Yeah.
Sherry, or is that background?
No, I wasn't.
Okay.
Okay.
It's hard to hear you.
Yeah, I think we're trying to work with you here, Sherry. I don't know. The board's really trying to move this sign more to fall in line with the guidelines being at or near the public entrance. Do you have, so that we don't just send you back for revisions, do you have any thoughts yourself that you want to bounce off us before we vote on this? I mean, as far as just questions or ideas that we can contribute to?
No, I submitted all the other signs, our neighbors, so that you could see that obviously this is not out of the norm for this road.
Okay.
I can hang it. That's fine if that's what you want. Is the size okay? Because it's not that big.
Right. What do you think the top of the sign is? To Kevin's point, what is the overall height, would you say?
20,
you've got
26 3/4.
Oh, 26?
Yes.
Got it. And if it were hanging from that porch roof, if we go back to slide 7, yeah, if it was hanging from that porch roof, there's no steps there, so you wouldn't be hitting anybody coming up because the steps are off the side.
Correct.
So if that is an amendment that you want to have us consider right now, we could vote on that as an amended application rather than holding for revisions.
That's fine. If that's what we can get, that's what we'll take.
Okay, so Kevin, do you want to withdraw? There was no second for your motion, so you want to withdraw it and rephrase it? Or do you have any other concerns?
I do. Well, I really think we need to see, an accurate drawing of where this is going to go. This is, the measurements are loose, that we're just drawing circles with a stylus. I think we should have a proper application with the revision showing. And then I'm okay with moving it. I just don't feel like we're very well documented here at all.
Okay.
I disagree completely. We put a lot of effort into this. We're very documented.
Well, Sherry,
on the sign,
Mr. Chairman, if you could get this under control.
Yeah, Sherry, I think what we're saying is just if we could, generally speaking, I believe you get the sense that where it would be approvable hanging from the porch. If we could just ask for a mock-up of this being shown, whether it's directly in front of the window, directly in front of the door, where exactly that would fit hanging from the porch, so that we can just have it on record. That's what Kevin's suggesting, as well as the sign indicating it's 24 inches tall versus 26 and whatever the fraction was you mentioned. If we could just get those two things documented, the location shown on the photograph, I think that you would, I'm getting the sense from the board that that would be approved without much comment in the next review. Does that make sense to you, Sherry?
It does. What if we move it to the side of the window there on the entryway? Would that be approved?
You mean where the where that American flag? Or...
Yes. That's a COVID thing that we put up.
Yeah.
But we can certainly obviously take that down. But
is that the one that it was just circled? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, the one there's a sign to the right of the window, and that's a COVID sign demanding people wear masks, or requesting, not demanding. And then the left side of the window is a COVID flag saying doing our part 6 feet apart.
The one that is not circled at the moment on the screen. Is that correct? Correct. So you're asking if that could be moved around into that corner?
Yeah, that's what someone just suggested on the entrance.
Paul, were you? I don't think that was what was being suggested. I think we were talking about hanging it from the roof apron there across the porch, but which would give you more visibility, I think, than what was just discussed as location 1, the way that Kathy put it down. But again, if I think what Kevin's saying is we just wanted to have it documented, where exactly you want to hang it. And if we could just get that size correctly on frame number 4, just, you know, show the 24 inches, but then also the extra 2 and whatever it is to the top of the arch, so that we have that overall sign size documented.
Okay, that's what we'll do.
Does that make sense? Okay. So Kevin, you have a motion to hold for revisions. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, Paul, are you in favor?
Aye.
And Kevin?
Aye.
And Mark?
Aye.
Okay, I am as well. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Kathy, you're muted.
I was just talking to myself.
Oh, okay, never mind.
That's bad. No. Trying to get what the heck's going on here? Sorry, guys. Center projecting sign, and Kara is on the meeting.
Great. So, Kara, are we looking at 2 signs at once here? Basically 2 different applications, but the same space?
Hi.
Hi, Kara. So just asking, you have 2 signs, correct?
I have 2 signs, yeah.
Space. Okay. Go ahead, tell us what are we looking at here?
Oh, so one is, so this is their logo. And I know last week we talked about just having it be white on black, and they requested that we see if this could work. But this is a version of their logo. The hanging sign is smaller. There's one hanging sign from the porch and then a blade sign coming out from the side.
Okay.
And he's going to remove the menu box.
Can we go back?
The menu box there previously,
Got
and he's not planning to use it.
Got it. So am I seeing that correctly? That the hanging sign looks bigger in the picture that we're seeing right now, but in reality, the projecting sign is 50% larger than the hanging sign?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that might be a little bit too big there.
Yeah, could they be, I would almost prefer to see those 2 reversed, in fact. Just scale-wise, the larger sign being
any size, so 24 by 24 inches wide for the hanging and 36 for the blade.
That's just my first instinct would be to have the larger sign be the primary sign by the door. But let me open this up to comment. Mark, do you have any comments?
No, it actually was supposed to be that way.
Oh.
That's a mistake there.
Oh, okay.
The 36 is supposed to be the one hanging from the porch.
Got it. Okay. Mark?
Can we go back to the photo, please, of the building with the sun? Thank you. No comments at this time. I appreciate the graphic changes.
Okay, Paul?
No comments other than we still have a for rent sign on the front of the building.
Okay, Kevin?
I have 2 comments. I appreciate the new design. I think that's fine. In the application itself, I think we need some clarification. It says that the lettering is applied in one location, then it says that the lettering is painted. I think we just want to make sure that it's a painted sign.
They're both painted on wood.
Okay, then we should probably just correct the application. See where it says applied.
Yes, that's a mistake.
Just to make sure it's clear. The other question I have is, there appears to be a kind of a white edge to two sides of the sign. I don't know if that's just a presentation detail or you're actually
I know that you prefer to have there be a different color. So that's just to show that the side of the sign would be white instead of black.
My question is then, is it all sides or just the two?
No, all sides, but.
Oh, okay. Okay. Those are my comments. Thank you.
Okay. I also think that the new designs are improved and appropriate with that size reversal that we just talked about. So would anyone like to make a motion? Paul, maybe
move to approve.
Okay. Do you want to include any language about menu boxes or wall signs for rent, things like that?
Yes. Including removal of any other signage or menu box.
Okay. Do we have a second for that?
Second.
Kevin, are you in favor?
Aye.
And Paul?
Aye.
And Mark?
Aye.
And I am as well. So
that's for both.
Kara, I think that's for both applications.
Okay.
With the other caveat being that the applied lettering is meant to be painted. So yes. Kathy, maybe you could just cross that out on the application for us. Is that? I think we're good. Did you have anything, another application, Kara?
Not today.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. What's next, Kathy?
Did you want to circle back to 282 Sanford or?
Yeah, let's look at Jurgita's application.
Okay. Stand by. Oh, this Zoom. So she actually brought in, I took a picture of it, a letter N, which I have like right here, gold embossed.
Okay.
Yeah, and if you needed to look at the previous information from last week, it was other businesses that had individual letters on their buildings. I don't have it attached to this PDF, but I can bring it up if you need to, or if you'd like.
Okay, did she provide any information about the lighting? I see lights indicated on the plan.
Oh, no, she did not.
Okay. Does the application say it's lit as well?
I'm looking.
The low profile side lights.
Okay.
I think if you scroll down further, you'll see a diagram right there.
Oh, there we are.
Right here?
No, that last one, number 5, panel 5.
No.
At the bottom, so white lights like that. Okay. Kevin, do you have any comments?
Yeah, I do, of course. I feel like, I understand, or I'm getting the sense that this applicant would really like individual letters. However, I feel that given you know, given this building and its, you know, history and its location, I think that individual, you know, letters are, you know, not appropriate. And I don't think they're appropriate on just a very skinny little trim piece like that. I think a 4-inch letter is going to be difficult. I think there's a better application, either hanging from there or projecting from there. If they still want to use individual letters, perhaps they can be put into a frame similar to what you know, the drugstore has done on the far side. I think the lighting, it seems to be out of context with, I understand what they're trying to do, but I don't think that's a good solution for, we're going to have a couple of sticks sticking out only over a 4-inch letter. I just think that there's better opportunities to you know, sign this building and this entrance that's more in keeping with the overall feel of the building. So that's my comment. Thank you.
Okay, Mark.
You know, there's a mix of signage on this building now. I find these, I actually don't really have a problem with these letters being applied compared to some of the other options. They're going to light them no matter what they put. They'll, you know, it's like there's an intention to light the sign regardless of what it might be. So I don't think I have an issue with it. I think my preference would be to see maybe just a black letter versus a gold, but even then, you know, this building is a little hodgepodgey architecturally. It's not, other than the big boat doors on the main facade, the rest of it is pretty cobbled over time here. Even the big picture units are atypical at the storefronts. So, and it's so far back from the road. I know it's visible from the parking lot, but I think it's going to have minimal impact. I guess I'm okay with it.
Paul?
I don't have any comments.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not, I don't mind. I think the lettering, I'm not sure how the guidelines read about lettering being appropriate in one space versus another. I think it just indicates it shouldn't be interfering with the architectural elements if there's some kind of a special frieze, but I'm kind of with Mark. I think a hanging sign might get to be too low because it looks to me like the door goes right up pretty much to that ceiling. So anything that hangs down could be a headbanger. And I'm not sure if framing it's only a, you know, if there's only like a 5.5-inch frieze, which is what it kind of looks like, I'm not sure if framing it would leave much room for lettering if it were applied. So yeah, go ahead.
Not to interrupt Chris, but I'm looking at the street view on this now, and assuming it's relatively current, the unit forward of this one, their signage is in the same spot. They did it in a quarter board form, which obviously works well. But
okay,
I don't know that we need to make them change the sign type, but it is consistent with the other small unit that's flanking this one.
I've got a question. If there's, I'm not familiar with all the signs on the building. Is this a situation where we should be looking at a master sign plan?
That's not a bad idea. I think there must be a master sign plan for this building.
I thought it came up when the boathouse moved in there, you know, when we went back and forth with that signage.
And there's been other businesses in this space with approved signage. I recall there was like the Brazil Mart or
insurance company.
Kind of it was okay, right?
I thought they were still there.
Do we want to, since she's not on the line anyway, do we want to hold for representation? And in the meantime, we could just make a comment that we should pull the master sign plan and have that be a part of the review. give her the chance to, okay. Anybody want to second that?
Second.
Okay, we'll give that to Paul. Kevin, are you in favor?
Aye.
And Paul?
Aye.
And Mark?
Aye.
Okay, I am as well. Thanks, Kathy.
So I forgot to remove 2 bullet points under other business from last week, so disregard. I have Dragita on here and Briar Patch Pediatrics, so stricken. But I did have the mission statement for Kevin if he wanted to. What I did, yeah, if I may, I went ahead and where did I put it? I copied.
I haven't done anything else with the corrections that or the additions I got from Paul, but I'll get to that in the next week or so.
Okay. Was that on the mission or on the construction signs?
That was for construction. I think Kathy's looking for the mission.
Got it.
Yeah, right before the meeting, I went and copied what where is it? Okay, here it is. Just to give you guys, I don't know, last time we've looked at the page. All right, so this is what it says right now when you go on to your HDC Sign Advisory Council web page. And then, Kevin, was that from what you proposed this past spring when we had a?
I think there was part of that.
Yeah.
What I sent into you last week or so was just another paragraph to, I guess, to put at the top of that. It seemed like.
Right. Let me find that one.
I didn't try to rewrite the whole thing. I was just looking for a short mission to add to it.
Yep.
I took a look at some of the other missions for some of the other commissions and so forth, and they're all a little bit all over the place. But
so this is what you sent me. I don't know how to screen share 2 things at once, but I'll look at them side by side. But
so if that were, I like the way that the one that exists opens up or introduces the history, and it looks like this portion could be inserted right after that, where it says
let me grab it.
That.
Sorry. Do you see it now? Chris, are you frozen? Oh, no.
No. So where it says the Historic District Commission created a committee of Sign Advisory Council to assist in the review, rather than saying to assist in the review of all, put a period or a comma there and then insert Kevin's language, which is a little bit more in-depth description of what we do. So that second half.
Sorry, so insert it right here?
Yeah, I think just take away the rest of that sentence, the to assist through the end of that sentence, and Kevin's wording could be placed right in that space. We just have to get the grammatics right, but
okay.
It seems like he's expanded on that thought.
Okay. Well, I can do that.
Okay. Yeah, just figure out how that transition happens.
And then have it ready for next week for you all.
Okay. Mark, did you have any comments?
That sounds fine. I agree with that change.
Okay. Or Paul?
No comments.
Okay.
Mark, do you know how to share two PDFs at once? They said we need to see them side by side, maybe.
I can't say what to do.
Let me see. Let me see if I'm gonna give us a quick shot if you guys don't mind. Let me see if I can. I guess I can't. I can't get back in. Oh well. I was hoping to be kind of tech savvy at this.
I'm too old for that.
For sale?
All right. Well, that sort of concludes our discussion of the mission for the moment then.
I'm not listening to it, but I can certainly see
Okay.
it for you.
And enforcement's on hold. Anything new with enforcement?
Paul sent me something. Let me see if I can get that.
Maybe I can explain it.
Okay. Yeah.
I sent a picture this morning of a political sign relating to items that are going to be voted on at the annual town meeting regarding short-term rentals. And they've popped up all over town in front of real estate agents' homes. We have a 30-day, oh, you've already got it here, 30-day limitation on these signs. And I think we should contact the real estate organization and let them know that these don't meet the guidelines. Any other comments or thoughts?
I think that's a good point, Paul. This is not freedom of speech as much as it is clearly a political movement. So I think that we're safe in that sense. Anybody else? Mark, do you have any comments?
No, I noticed them. I noticed them in the Rotary, actually. We're not supposed to see those either.
Yeah. And Kevin?
Yeah, I agree with what Paul's saying. I think that, I took a look at the political sign thing, and we don't say anything about when they can go up. We say they have a 30-day window, but that's a little loophole. But regardless, I don't think these are political. These are personal issues, I think, to some degree.
Yeah. So I think that's limited to 30 days at least. And the fact that they have to be removed immediately following an election gives us the suggestion that it would be put 30 days before the election and moved immediately. You're right, it's not clear. But I think we could send a message to them saying that they have to respect the guidelines. Do we know who would it be the actual realtor board, or does anybody know who is in charge of these signs, who created them? Or Kathy, who would you direct a letter to?
I'm going to see if I saved the email from Paul. Paul, I'm going to pull it up.
I think there's been a kind of a little action committee pulled together on that. I can't think of the name of it right now, but
well, I know one agent who sent out an email on the same subject. Bernadette Meyer at Maury people. We might send it to her and ask her to notify the Realtors organization. I forget what they call themselves.
The NARAB.
Yeah, right. I think send it to them.
Okay.
So,
all right, Kathy, do you have contact information for NARAB?
I can look into it, but I just wanted to remind you all that some of the non-commercial ones are considered freedom of speech, and I don't think we're really allowed to go down that road. But I will definitely discuss. I just to make you guys aware of that if they're on private property, it's considered freedom of speech, and there's case law against it. Through town council.
So,
I mean,
I understand that. What's our difference between a political sign then and freedom of speech? I guess because you could say that a political sign is freedom of speech.
Yeah.
Innocent.
I think we've called them non-commercial signs.
Right.
Based on content.
Right, we have that. Okay. But it is also trying to influence the vote, correct? I mean, the signage.
Right. So,
well, let's send we can certainly remind them that 30 days is the limit for political signage, and
so maybe like if possible, respect the 30-day limit to the guidelines. Maybe reduce the clutter of the signs.
I think it's pretty clear. It says a political sign is a temporary sign used to advertise candidates or address public concerns. So, and given that, political candidate signs must be removed and limited after the election and limited to 30 days. We could just cite that language and let them let them interpret it. And if they want to come back and claim freedom of speech, then that's a discussion that they can have with us, I suppose. But if we're reading the definition of a political sign being one to address public concerns, I think that that's defined here anyway. So we're just.
Well, it isn't, and it isn't. We refer to political candidate signs be removed.
It says
this is not a candidate sign.
Or technically public concerns.
Okay. The sentence before that says, or to address public concerns. So,
well, yeah,
I see what you're saying. We don't specifically say it in the second sentence. To express concerns. Well, we can send a letter and ask them to respect the guidelines, just like they do with their
other thing.
The lack of for sale signs.
Another thing we could do is I know this might seem a little dramatic, but we could ask town council for an opinion as to where this falls in our guidelines. So that.
Well, by the time we do that, it's going to be within the 30 days. So.
Well, town meeting's not till June.
I know it's a month from 2 weeks from now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I'm inclined to say do it and see what happens. At least they'll know, the real estate agents will know we're watching.
So are you referring to?
Yeah, I think the
Alliance Protect Nantucket's Economy, is that the board you would like me to reach out to?
I think so. They're the ones that seem to be
right.
They're the name on the sign. So we should just remind them that political signage have a 30-day window. And they might want to use their window. Well, who knows how long it's been up, but they don't have 30 days between now and the election. So it's going to expire before the election. But it does touch on a bit broader subject of all the other signage that's popping up. And in the end, it could, the island could be just full of people's opinions on signs like this, which would be a shame.
The real estate are kind of the worst. I saw an open house sign last weekend.
So, well, let's send this. This one's pretty clear that it's. We see the Alliance to Protect Nantucket Economy. That's an organization. We can reach out to them, just remind them of the guidelines. By the time enforcement, I think town meeting will be upon us by the time we would actually get into enforcement. But let's put it on record that they should be respectful of the guidelines.
Okay.
All right. Sorry, Paul, was that a motion? My audio got out.
So moved.
Okay, thanks. Anybody want to second that?
Second.
Thanks, Mark. Kevin, are you in favor?
Aye.
And Paul?
Aye.
Mark?
Aye.
I am as well.
I have a quick question. With this modification to our guidelines for construction signs. I'm assuming that needs to be re-advertised as changes. And if that's accurate, we should probably look through and see what else we might want to change. We're going to go through that advertising process. And one of the things we might want to think about, I was reminded when we talked about realtors, is we might want to think about how we want to address window signage if we're going to go back to a guideline change. Might be a good opportunity to get into that a little further.
All right, good point. I definitely think it would make sense to incorporate as many changes as we think we need to at once. That would probably be more of an in-depth conversation than we would want to just throw at the end of an agenda, though, don't you think? I mean, that's almost like a special meeting request. And
right.
So,
and like I said last week, you have this time slot for an hour and a half every Tuesday, year round. So
got it.
If you have like a light agenda or have nothing on it, something to talk
perhaps
about.
Perhaps what we should do is just have an agenda item that talks about, review guidelines, so that we can have some discussion about it and people know.
That's a good point. Let's just put that on like next enforcement on the agenda.
Okay.
Great.
Good idea, Kevin.
All right. Does that wrap up our items for today? Does anybody want to make a motion?
I was muted, sorry. It does, and the next meeting is next Tuesday.
Okay.
To adjourn.
Chris, can I ask you a question?
Yes. Sure.
What's going on with that beautiful building across from your store?
Oh, I could, would you like to see?
Oh, God, you guys.
Let's see.
I thought you were moving in there.
Hey, there it is. Yay.
Yeah.
It was temporary meeting space.
Uh-huh.
It's approved in 2019 before COVID, and then COVID hit, and then we can't meet in person. So there it sat for a while, and
that's okay. It will be dwarfed by the new building across the street.
Yeah, no comment.
And it was the only place that town could put it because it had the appropriate hookups. Other areas of the island were proposed or thought of in advance, and that was the only place it could be pushed.
Well,
yeah.
I think
it's a great.
I like the. I like the Mid-Island plan that was approved 15 or 20 years ago. I like the way that it described what the Rotary was supposed to represent when they proposed it, that it was going to be the gateway to the Mid-Island District. So now we've seen what that gateway looks like in action. So anyway. So we had a motion to adjourn. Does anyone want to second that?
Second.
Or do we want to just stay here? Okay. Mark, are you in favor?
I'm in favor.
Kevin?
Aye.
And Paul?
Aye.
I am as well. Thanks, Kathy. Thanks,
Bye, you guys. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.